that was having church, and it was just about the nick of time that integration was fixing to enter the door. And there was a man lived over in Virginia, and he got saved. And the ratio that lines in was hard drawed against the black and the white. And they didn't have too much to do with white, colored. The white and the colored didn't have too much to do with each other. So he got saved. And he told the Lord, he said, Lord, I'll do anything that you want me to do. Anything. Well, you can tell God that. And when you tell him that, he gives you some time. So, he waited about 2 years before he tested him. And then one night in Virginia, it was the coldest night that ever was. And there come a knock at the door. This man knocked on the door. He was the biggest, the blackest man that he ever saw in his life. Said he was so extra big and so extra tall. He looked at him. He said, could I come in to stay all night with you? He looked at him. And in his heart he wanted to say, no, you can't come in. No, no. And he thought, he heard the Lord say, didn't you promise me that you would do anything? He said, yes, Lord, I did. He said, come on in. And he brought him on into his house because he's wealthy. He wasn't poor, he was a wealthy man. And he set that big black man at the head of his table. And he told him to give, he told his wife to give him anything that he wanted to eat. Give it to him. But when this big black man was at that table, he couldn't get over him being so extra big and so extra black. He prayed. And said when he prayed, the room would get full of angels. And he said, put him in my guest room, the best we got. She put him in the best room they had. But he seen that big black man go up mountain them stairs to go up. And he's still amazed how big and huge he was. He just couldn't get with him. He slept all night. He come down. And overnight, a big snow come. And this man come down the steps. He put that big man right back at the head of that table again. That man would pray and look like the room got full of angels. And then he thanked him for his hospitality. He thanked him for letting him stay there all night. And he shook his hand and said goodbye. He left him, but that snow had fell. This is a real thing. This ain't no hearsay. This was a real thing. He said the real thing. He kept studying why was he so big? Why was he so black that he couldn't understand? He never saw a man so huge and tall. He said, I've got to see which way he went. I just got to. He opened the door. He looked at the door. Not a track. He went around the house in the snow. Was nobody's tracks but his. And he come to this conclusion that he had entertained an angel unaware. That's why he was extra black and dark.